students are so cute. One was like, Professor, I have to stop you and ask you about one of the assignments real quick. Well, anyway, very studious students I have. So thank you all for your attendance. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing His Excellency Pham Quang Vinh, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam to the United States of America for this historic event. But before I begin this introduction, I want to thank you, Southeast Asians Furthering Education, or SAFE, and the Department of Asian American Studies with the department chair standing right back there, Richard Kim, say hi, for their support of this event. And also Jim Hill, one of the leaders in the agriculture college is here too, so just hi there. This Department of Asian American, okay, so this talk is also a part of an extended invitation for my course in Asian American Studies titled Asian Diasporas, where we look at local, global, and international affairs and its relationship to the Asian overseas population. So now back to introductions. Ambassador Pham Quang Vinh served as Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in charge of relations with countries in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and the South Pacific, and Vietnam senior official to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Ambassador Pham Quang Vinh has held the position of Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs and Vietnam's ASEAN SOM leaders, and was Deputy Director General, then Director General, and Vietnam's ASEAN SOM leader. Ambassador Pham Quang Vinh was posted twice to the permanent mission of Vietnam to United Nations in New York, and served as Minister Counselor in Bangkok, Thailand. His Excellency is in California for a historic visit with a cross-section of our state to further good relations and trade. Ambassador's visit to UC Davis marks the first formal visit of a Vietnamese ambassador to a California university. So we're very excited about that. I've had the pleasure of speaking with Ambassador Vinh in recent past, so I know him to be a passionate diplomat, and I really can hardly wait for everyone to hear him speak today. So with no further ado, I welcome His Excellency Pham Quang Vinh.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Kieu-Ling, for all the arrangements and assistance for this event, and I thank you all for supporting this event. Actually, after the introduction, I lost my points. But I know that I came here with a very good intention of interacting with the students here. And as introduced, this is my maiden trip to California and to the university. And I think everything maiden will be good. And I read a lot about UC University, the Davis, and I know that you call yourself Agis, and you vote on it, right? You voted for this name. But today I want to start with a note. Today's in Vietnam, it's 20th of October, is a Women's Day for Vietnam. So to Professor Kieu-Ling and all the ladies here, very much best wishes. Thank you all. I was asked to speak on two things. Number one, about Vietnam-US relations, especially in recent years, and on Vietnam's development. And I think that I'm not quite sure if I can do that as a good job or not. In my family, actually I was a student 40 years ago. And in my family, there's still one student. And I think that the student is for the future. And the past is very hardly arguing with the future. So I try to argue with you, and if you have questions, and I try to answer. But if questions without answers, that means something also. And for Vietnam-US relations, I think this year is very crucial and very much important year. If you look back into history of 60 years, it seems that our history of relationship has been related to something that I call cycles of 20 years. 21st years, 1955 to 1975, very unlucky we have war. And then from 75 to 95, we have embargo, and people cannot understand each other. And now, from 1995 to this year, 2015, we have been developing our relationship. We have diplomatic relations, and then we have comprehensive partnership. And throughout the 3 decades, I think all the progress achieved today that we have is so tremendous. And people call it, like Secretary of State Kerry, call it beyond expectations. And I may name something like this. We have comprehensive partnership that we expand our cooperation in all areas, from political to foreign relations, to economic cooperation, to science, technology, education, and people-to-people exchange. And I think I will be focusing more on education and people-to-people exchange later on, which is, to my view, very much important in our relationship. And we also expand our relations to other fields like security and defense. That is very much rewarding and exciting that the two countries have been going from foes to friends and to comprehensive partnership. Our trade relations and economic relations have always been a very underlying factor for the improvement of our relationship, and we consider it as a pillar in our relationship. And over the past 20 years since our diplomatic relations established, you know what? We have increased our trade volume 80-fold, from half a million to now, this year, 40 billion US dollars in total. That is great. And we have altogether in the US some 17,000 Vietnamese students studying at university and colleges in the US. And I believe that in California is about 5,000 or something. That is a great number. And if compared with other countries, Vietnam, the number of Vietnamese students in the US universities now is number 8 the world over, and number 1 for the Southeast Asian countries, for the 10 Southeast Asian countries. So that's great. And even more than that, the people who study in here is very much with the knowledge and know-how that they bring back home, or they communicate back home for the development of the country, and the government of Vietnam appreciate this very much.